Bring your hands around. It's called Monkey Holds the Cauldron. We're going to open our hands outwards a little bit. Feel like we're gathering something. And as we gather that, we want to bring it towards our belly. And we're not going to bring our hands to the belly. We're just going to bring our hands towards it and feel like there's a little bit of pressure because we're gathering and bringing something. And that's going to allow what's in our hands to seep into our lower body. And as that feeling helps us sink, helps us feel centered, helps us feel warmed and nourished, then the next thing we're going to do as we continue moving our hands, so our hands are now filling our lower dantian, and then we're going to bring our awareness to the center of our heart, and then we're going to bring our awareness to the way we actually are in our face, in our aliveness, in our eyes, through our expression. So when we're doing this practice, what we actually want to do, as strange as this might sound, is to think of the body as an oil lamp. So that when I'm reaching out and gathering and bringing in, I'm actually imagining bringing in lamp oil into the lamp to fill it up. And if you've ever seen a lamp oil, the oil fills up a chamber, and then there's a wick that comes up, and there's this little thing that separates the flame from the oil so nothing blows up. And the wick burns kind of like a candle wick, but instead of wax, you have this oil at the bottom of the lamp. So what we're going to do is imagine that the wick is in the center of your heart, and the flame that comes above the heart, or above the wick, that little spark, is your experience of being conscious, or what we call shun, or spirit. So just inhale, exhale, filling the lamp. As the oil becomes abundant, the flame can rise. But I'm going to do this in 3 parts. So as I'm filling the oil, my primary focus is just inhaling and exhaling and bringing awareness and nurturing my lower dantian. After a few breaths, my hands are going to just point upwards just a little bit, because I want to have this feeling that on some level I can help the oil go up the wick to get to the spark, to get where the flame is. So I'm just going to focus on feeling that oil coming up the wick, and then the spark getting brighter. We're not going to do anything with the flame yet. So oil coming in, feeling that oil climbing up in the body, through the center of the body, filling the wick, building the potential for flame. And as we do that a little more, we're going to notice that we can actually maybe feel or visualize like an actual coal or ember brightening and warming in the center of the chest. So we don't want to force that, but we just want to be open to the feeling of more oil, more ember, more light, more warmth. Oil comes into the lamp, oil comes up the wick, the ember gets warm, and then now the ember is going to get warm and the flame is going to come up, and now we're going to focus on the flame. So oil, up the wick, ember, and the feeling that comes to mind, if I could try and describe this, is the way maybe a child would feel when one of their favorite relatives comes into the room and they haven't seen them in a while, and we're like, oh, you know, we get to have this connection with something safe and wise and beautiful and interesting and magical, like, I don't know, when you're 3 years old and you meet your grandparents or something. Fill the chamber, heat up the ember. Fill the chamber, up the wick, ember glowing. Just become light, become love, become connection, joy, generosity. You can see I'm straightening my legs, opening my chest, and just opening.